Good morning, my friends, and welcome to our next Doctor Who adventure. And we're on to the fourth Doctor. That's Tom Baker. And this one's going to be a two-part because he ran from his first adventure was 1974 and he went on to 1981. So Tom Baker was the longest Doctor in the history of Doctor Who. And the reason why I'm breaking it into a two-parter, is because he made so many stories and there's so many episodes and that. So I've had to split it into a two-parter because there's so many to talk about. Well, before we start talking about Tom, in 1979, I will show you, I actually met the great man, Tom Baker, and I actually got his autograph, as you can see. He signed this book for me, and it was a pleasure to meet him, and he was wearing the famous scarf. So, to start our little history of the Doctor, and when he first regenerated into the Doctor, and this is the robot, as you can see, the giant robot, and this ran from December 28th of December 1974 to the let me see, it's the 18th of January 1975, and that was our first adventure with the Doctor. And as you can see on the back, he's got his trusty car, Bessie. So Bessie was introduced in the Tom Pertwee years because the Doctor wanted a car, so he carried it. When he changed into Tom Baker, regenerated into his fourth regeneration, he still used the TARDIS, but he still had his companion Liz, and they was joined by Harry Solomon, and they, after that episode, they took Harry on a trip, and they ended up in the Ark in space. Now with the Wirral, what was creatures what wanted to take over the Ark and use the humans as food and that, and the Doctor had to fight them and to destroy them. Well, they destroyed themselves because the one person they took over turned into a Wirral. He took the ship off and it exploded. And this was the start of a series of stories. So this was like a continue of the season. So that was the Ark in Space, and this ran from January 25th to 15th of February 1975. And next we have the Sontarans experiment, and as you can see, it's a Sontaran what has appeared in John Pertwee year, and he turned up because they materialised back on Earth to repair the control to bring the people from the space station back to Earth after, and they found the Sontaran creature, as you can see on the back. This is a short one. This only ran from let's say 22nd to the 1st of March 75, and he was experimented on people, humans, and the Doctor fought him. And the thing with Sontarans, they couldn't with the weight and that was the gravity was a bit stronger than that. So continuing, we come to one of the Dalek stories, that the Terry Nation. Now, this was voted the #1 Doctor Who story because it was involved the Daleks, and the Time Lords wanted the Doctor to go back in time to stop the development of the Daleks and the Crater. And as you can see, the Crater, Davros, a mad genius. And it was the war against the two races. And the name Dalek was an anagram of their race. And it was set on Skara. And they didn't destroy all the Daleks, but they entombed them. So this was the 6th part, and this ran from March the 8th to the 12th of April 75. So this is a really good series. It introduced us to the creator of the Daleks that we have not seen through the history. This actually showed how the Daleks was created and turned into these creatures. What was nasty and didn't have any thought. They only thought about themselves. So, for our next journey, after the Doctor was given a time ring. It was his way to get back to the TARDIS. Now we're on to the Revenge of the Cybermen. Now the Doctor and Harry and Elizabeth, they returned to the Ark, back to trying to find the TARDIS. But this was before the Ark in space and the solar flares, and this was with the Cybermen, the Revenge of the Cybermen. The Cybermen wanted to destroy the planet of gold. What helped destroy the Cybermen, because the space station was orbiting Vulcan, I think it is, Vulcan or whatever, and the Cybermen wanted to destroy it to stop them being able to use gold to destroy the Cybermen. At the end of this was the end of the season, Tom Baker's first season, and the TARDIS turned up, and the Doctor found out that the Brigadier had sent a message. So this leads into our next season. So for the beginning of our next season is the Terror of the Autons. Now, the Autons will turn up in the new seasons of Doctor Who. And this is the very first season of season 2. Well, I forget which season it is, but it's second season of Tom Baker's era. And it was set around Scotland. And it had links with the Loch Ness Monster and that. And the Zygons was taking over people and destroying the oil rigs. So this ran from 20th, is it the 30th of August to the 20th September 1975, and this was the start of the next season. So for that, they left Harry, because after that was with that they had a special edition, because they had the director's cut for the first episode. Now the Doctor and Liz Shaw left the Brigadier and Harry back on Earth, and they turned up on the planet of Evil. Now this was a planet where excuse my cough, that one of the people found some radioactive stuff what he wanted to take back to Earth, and as you can see, the creature didn't want them to take it, and he was controlling everything. So the Doctor had to fight him and send him back into the beast. And this was from 27th of September to the 18th of October 1975. So for our next one, this is the brain of Morbius. Now Morbius was a Time Lord, but the Time Lords had killed him, and he ended up on the planet, I can't think of the name of the planet, Kara, where the Sisterhood was operating, and they gave the lecture of life, and they thought it was the Doctor who was the evil one, but in the end it was Morbius, because they had to, as you can see, it was all what was left was his brain, and the other chap who was building him as a machine. So the Doctor had to fight them. Now this next one, they return to Earth, but it is in history, back in the early century, 20th century. And this is all about Sutet, the pyramids of Mars. So we will meet Sutet in the new Doctor Who season, but this was back in the Fourth Doctor with Sarah Jane, and Sutet was ruined on Mars, and he wanted his disciple to destroy the prison to let him free. So the Doctor had to save the universe, had to fight Sutet and his people and the mummies and that, if you can see. So that was Sutet. So next, the TARDIS lands thinking that they're back on Earth, but really they are on this planet what are the invasion of androids. And one person, if you can see him on the back, is an astronaut, and he thinks he's been repaired and that, and the leader of the creatures make him believe that he is, and it involves part of Unit, because Harry Solomon turns up because they return to Earth, as the TARDIS returns before the Doctor, because he gets on the ship and they return to Earth. So they had to destroy the androids and kill the baddie. And that's our next one. And for our next one, this is the they go back to Italy. The TARDIS lands in Italy, and this entity takes over, and it is set in the 15th century in the Mediterranean, and the Doctor has to help to destroy the entity and free the people, as you can see the entity on the front. So this was made in let's see, from the 4th of September to we're into 1976, 25th of September 1976. I didn't realise we've already looped into 76. Now, this one is the Seeds of Doom. Now the TARDIS lands on the in the North, I think it's the North Pole, and there's exhibition. People have found this plant, what is dangerous, and it takes over the one person, and they have to destroy it, and they think that they destroyed it, but this one chap wanted it because he was a botanist and he was into his plants. And as you can see, the krill as it is on the one side, and they had to destroy it. And at the end, the TARDIS materialise where they started. So this was from January. Must have been. This is January 26th to March. March till March. So this must have been a 6-part, 1976. So now we've come to the very last story of Elizabeth Slaton. Elizabeth Slaton, alias Sarah Jane Smith, and this is our farewell to Sarah Jane Smith. And as I said earlier in the Tom Pertwee years, we will talk about her adventures, and this was the last time she excuse me, a last adventure with the Doctor. And this is the classic story of Hand of Fear. And as you can see, the creature was on the rock and he materialised, and the radiation helped to build him back, and they took him back to his planet, because he was hoping to rescue everybody, but in the end it didn't work out. And at the end of that, the Doctor had a call from the Time Lords to go back, so he had to leave Sarah and he'd take her home, thinking that he landed in Croydon, but he hadn't, because Sarah says at the end, this is nowhere by Croydon. So that was our last adventure. Now we come to the Deadly Assassin. Now this introduces us to the Master again, and as you can see, the Master is deformed because he's been in an accident somehow, and he's out to frame the Doctor and try to kill him. And this story was a certain critic said it was too violent for children at the time, and this ran from 30th of October to the 20th of November 1976. And the critics did not like this, because she's turned around, her name was Mary Whitehouse, and said that this story was a bit violent and that. And the Doctor helped to save the Time Lords and Gallifrey from the Masters. But the Master, in the end, you think the Master's been killed, but he escapes. So for our next adventure, it is the Face of Evil. Now this is the first story where we meet his new companion. I can't think of her. Lara. She's a warrior of the Sutek, I mean, the Seven Attack, and the story about an alien what is taken over the mind of the Doctor and thinks he's God. And as you can see, there is like a replica on the wall as the Doctor, and he helps them to sort things out and take his memory out of the creature and save them all. This was transmitted from 21st of January to the 27th of January 1977. So now this is where Lara comes into her home, and they land on a robot ship, what is a mining ship, and this is robots of death, because there is a person who is making these robots into killers, and they are going to kill the crew, and the Doctor finds a way how to stop him and to destroy all the robots and that. So this was ran from January 29th to February the 18th. So to continue on our next adventure, we go back into time, and the Doctor lands in the trial of White. I can't pronounce the word, and it is a story about a evil entity and his criminal White Chan. These bit awkward to, and he wanted to regenerate himself, and he was taking energy from women to help him to restore himself. And the Doctor was like dressed up as Sherlock Holmes and that, and Laura had to dress up as well because she didn't have her usual clothes. So this ran from February 26th to the 2nd of April 1977. So for our next adventure, they land on a rock, a lighthouse, and this is the horror of Fang Rock. And this is a creature what is like taking over in the fog and trying to destroy them. And I can't think what the creature is, but they are the enemy of the Santanas or that. And they are a race of blobs and that, and as you can see there on the back, and on the front you can see the light crashing, and they tried to get the lighthouse to send a message to their ship, but the Doctor helped to destroy it. Oh, this ran from 3rd September to the 24th of September 1977. So for our next one, the invasion of In the Mind. So this was set on a ship landed on a space station on a planet, and the creature took over the Doctor in his mind and that, and they had to go into the Doctor's mind with Lara and sort of get him out, because they was wanted to use the energy to get them back and take over the universe. And this was made in 1st of September to the 22nd of September 1977. So for our next one, we land back on Earth, and this is the man of Fang Rock, and this was a entity, as you could see. It took over the woman and the power of this like brain skull, and it was taking over, and it wanted to take over the world, I presume, and the Time Lords, and it was a nightmare. So the Doctor had to help on all his energy with K9. No, K9 hadn't come into this yet. Or had he? I think K9 had come into the evil of Emily. Yes, that's right. That's when K9 was introduced, as you can see on that. I forgot to mention K9. So K9 helped them with this. This was made in 29th of October to the 19th of November 1977. So to end our first part of the series of Tom Baker's years, we come to the Sunmakers. Now, this is set on a world orbiting Jupiter, and the Dr. Laura and K9 arrived on Pluto, one of their distant planets, and there's like a mind control controlling the people and making them believe with this drug and taxes. And as you can see, the tax, the one who's controlling it, he was stuck in his chair and they defeated him, and he sort of vanished into his chair, and the doctor put the plug in and plugged him up. Excuse my cough. And this ran from the 26th of November to the 17th of December 1977. And this ends my first part of the Tom Baker years. And I hope you enjoy this first part. And later on I will continue with the second part of the series of the Fourth Doctor. And if you enjoy this little chat about his adventures, stay tuned for more and continue the adventures of Tom Baker and the Fourth Doctor. And I'll say goodbye for now, and I wish you farewell, and look after yourself and be kind to each other. I'll say goodbye for now. And if you enjoy watching these, put the thumbs up, and if you feel free, if you want to continue following me, please press the notification and subscribe, and look after yourself, and I'll say farewell. Farewell for now. Stop. I'm trying to stop. There we go. I'm having problems. Let's do it. Bear with me while I'm trying to stop me.